Football reaches a milestone in sports history tonight as the 1958 College All-Stars meet the professional champion Detroit Lions in the Silver Anniversary Contest here at Soldiers Field on Chicago's lakefront. 52 All-Americans, the pick of the nation's college talent, will remember this event as the biggest thrill of their athletic careers. Since the beginning of this great sports classic back in 1934, the pros have won 15 games, the All-Stars 7, and 2 were tied. The weatherman has cooperated beautifully with clear skies and temperature in the 70s. Over 70,000 partisan fans are assembled in the big arena, and an estimated 80 million other football fans are following the pageantry over a coast-to-coast television and radio network. Otto Graham is making his debut tonight as a head coach, and he and his staff decided at the outset that speed and daring and a wide-open passing game were necessary to beat the Lions. Here they come, the 1958 All-Stars. Defense captain Dan Curie from Michigan State accepts the game football from the All-Star queen, Miss Lynn Ann Westcott. And here's the All-Star coaching staff. Don Dahl, John Sandusky, Era Parsegian, Don Paul, Pete Pihos, and the head coach is Otto Graham. The world champion Detroit Lions make their appearance with their head coach, George Wilson. Team captains meet with officials in the center of the field, and referee Ronald Gibbs flips the coin. The All-Stars win the toss and elect to defend the north goal to gain advantage of a brisk wind. Here's the kickoff by Bobby Joe Conrad. There it goes, and it's in the end zone. Terry Barr of the Lions lets it go out of the end zone. Lions ball, 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line. Detroit out of the huddle now, the quarterback Tobin Rote. Lions in the white outfit. The veteran Rote hands off to Gene Gedman, who gets 4 yards at center. One of those famous Rote keep-it plays coming up. Rote keeps it after a nice fake, and he sweeps right in for 19 yards up to the Lions' 43. Lions line up with Rote at quarterback again, and he hands off to Gedman, who punches through center for 5 before Alex Karras of Iowa makes the stop. That's All-Star coach Pete Pihos, who played as a pro for 9 hard years. Rote back to pass, and it's complete to veteran end Jim Doran for 12 yards to the Collegians' 41. Detroit looks like they're really on the march as John Henry Johnson makes a first down with this smash at center. A penalty, however, nullifies the play, moves the ball back to the 47. Rote back again. He's rushed, but he gets it away to Steve Junker, who's forced out of bounds on the All-Star 40. Rote again, he gives to John Henry Johnson, who smashes over center to the 30-yard line before Curie of Michigan State makes the tackle. John Henry continues the assault with a 12-yard blast over the left side and another first down on the Collegians' 18. Option play this time. Rote keeps it. Here he comes around right in, and then he tosses the ball to Johnson, who continues to the 12-yard line. Here's a break for the Stars. Johnson with the ball, and he dives over left tackle for a gain of 2 yards. But holding is detected on Detroit, and the ball is moved back to the 25. Rote back again. And there's a flip out on the flat to Johnson, who goes to the 24, where Thomas of Oklahoma pushes him out. Touchdown play coming up. Rote back. Spots Doran all alone near the right sideline. There's the pass complete for the first score of the game. Bobby Layne kicking. David holding, it's good, and the score is the Lions 7, All-Stars nothing. Here's the kickoff by Detroit, taken by Chuck Kruger, an end from Texas A&M, who returns 9 yards to the 25. The Stars quarterback now is King Hill of Rice. Handoff goes to Jimmy Pace, who's dropped for a 4-yard loss by that big Detroit line. Line plunge by All-American Walt Kowalczyk, the halfback from Michigan State. No gain. So let's try a pass, says Hill. His target is Sample of Maryland State. Incomplete. The Stars are forced to punt. Billy Atkins of Auburn back. Good boot, sails over the safety man's head for a touchback. Detroit's ball on their 20. Rote fumbles, but it's recovered for the Lions, a 3-yard loss. Have a lateral coming up on the quarterback option. Rote with the ball. Laterals to Lewis, who goes for 9 before Curry and Conrad make the stop. 3rd down and 1 now. And Rote, with a keep it, makes it a 1st down on the 33. Now Lewis finds a hole at left end, and he runs for 17 yards to the Lions' 49. These all-star defenders are tough, though. Johnson takes the handoff, reverses himself, and he's dropped for a 5-yard loss by Chuck Kruger. Detroit, however, makes that 5 yards back up to the 49-yard line on the next play. And the old pro, Tobin Rote, is still quarterbacking those Lions. Fades back. His target is Junker. Incomplete. Detroit in punt formation now. Yale Larry back. Wow, he decides to run with the ball. He carries for 13 yards on this fake for a 1st down on the Collegians' 41. And that all-star sideline looks kind of unhappy at this turn of events. Rote still quarterbacking. It's a pass, complete to Junker, but a 15-yard holding penalty puts them back on their own 47. Rote back again. Aims one at the far sidelines, almost intercepted. Bobby Layne now comes into the ball game to quarterback the pro champions. Drops back to pass. Complete in the flat to Tom Tracy, who was dropped for no gain by Lynch of Notre Dame. Another 15-yard penalty for illegal use of the hands puts Detroit back on their 27. Tracy's the ball carrier. He gets back to the 35, an 8-yard gain. Detroit is forced to punt. Yale Larry back. Takes a bad pass from center. And the ball is down on the Collegians' 40. Again, the All-Stars ball, and again, King Hill of Rice is the quarterback. It's a pass intended for Mitchell of Illinois, incomplete. Here's a great run coming up. Hill back to pass. Lobs one to Jimmy Pace, and watch him go now. This is a 57-yard dash down to the Lions' 3. Wow! Boy, do the fans love this one. Crash. Stars up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal to go. Phil King of Vanderbilt is the ball carrier on this one. And he hits that line for 1 yard, down to the 2 as the first quarter ends with Detroit ahead 7-0, but the Stars are really knocking on the door. Second quarter now, goal to go in the 2. Let's take it in slow motion. Hill with the ball. Can't find anyone to take his hand off, and David and Zatkoff drive through to drop him on the 5. Again, Hill has the ball. He's going to try a run around left end. But there is no hole, and he's driven back to the 12-yard line for a 7-yard loss. And with 4th and 12, the Stars settle for a field goal try. Bobby Joe Conrad, the kicker. It is good. Score, Detroit 7, the All-Stars 3. Yes, looking along the sidelines here tonight, we see a number of college players to whom membership on the All-Star squad is the greatest achievement of their football careers. And believe me, there's a lot of kids all over the nation who are dreaming of the night when they, too, will come out on Soldiers Field in the spotlight's white glare. Here's the kickoff. Conrad boots. It's a short kick taken by McCord, who runs it to the Lions' 33. Bobby Layne at quarterback for the Lions. Hands off to John Henry Johnson, who turns on the steam for 17 yards and a first down at midfield. First and 10. Gedman dropped for no gain by Jomko of Ohio State. However, there's an offside on the Stars. Layne takes the snap, looks for a spot receiver, throws out to Johnson, who goes for about 3 yards. Now from the ground angle, Layne back. His pass intended for Middleton is complete for a first down on the Collegians' 40. Layne back to pass again. Watch Jimmy Jones of Washington intercept this one. There it is, and the Stars take over on their 17. That's Jones, number 42, running off the field. Jim Nanowski of Michigan State is in for the first time at quarterback. Hands off to Phil King. No gain. Now watch this next play, probably one of the greatest runs seen in this or any other All-Star game. Nanowski back, heaves one complete to Mitchell, and watch Bobby go. This is an 84-yard jaunt. He goes all the way. A couple of those Lions had 2 shots at him, and he still goes 84 yards for a touchdown, and Soldiers Field is bedlam. Conrad in to kick the extra point. Here comes Mitchell off the field. What a greeting at that bench. It is good. All-Stars lead 10-7. Now the kickoff again. Conrad again will boot. There it is. Gathered in by Terry Barr, who returns 41 yards to the Lions' 46 in a great run back. Now these pros know that they have their work cut out for them. On a quick opener, Lewis piles through to the Collegians' 46, where Atkins of Auburn makes the stop. The Lions look as though they're beginning to roll as Johnson, on a beautiful cutback, drives for a first and 10 on the Stars' 32. Very nice defensive maneuver coming up here now. Bobby Layne is quarterbacking for the pros. And Dick Lynch of Notre Dame does a beautiful job of breaking up this play. Layne back to pass. His target is Doran. And Lynch breaks it up. Another quick opener, and Lewis is through to the 26, where it's 3rd and 6 for Detroit. The Lions are beginning to grind out that yardage on the ground. Johnson takes the handoff, drives through guard for a 1st and 10 on the Collegians' 21. Now watch Detroit connect on this short pass over the line. Complete to Junkers on the 8. Here's Coach John Sandusky shouting words of encouragement to his All-Stars. 8 yards to go for the touchdown. Layne calls for an end sweep. Lewis carrying, but Jobco of Ohio State slices through to drop him for a 5-yard loss. Now here's a play that may well have changed the entire game. Layne passes, he's rushed, and his pass falls into the hands of collegian Lou Michaels of Kentucky, and the Stars take over. It's 1st and 10 for the Stars on their 28, Nanowski quarterbacking. And he passes complete to King for 6 yards to the 34. Jim Taylor of LSU will carry on this next one, and he drives for 3 before Zatkoff brings him down. Great pass play coming up. Nanowski back. He's rushed, almost trapped, gets it away, complete to Mitchell on the Lions' 32. Taylor has the ball, no gain. Runs right into a stone wall there at center. So let's take to the air, says Mr. Nanowski. Runs to his right. Here's the toss, complete to Dugan for a 14-yard gain and 1st down on the Detroit 18. Touchdown play coming up. Nanowski back. The pass is complete to Mitchell, who eludes Christensen and David, and with the aid of a beautiful block, scampers into the end zone for a touchdown as this crowd really goes wild at Soldiers Field. Mitchell has done it again. Conrad converts, and the score is 17-7 All-Stars with a minute remaining in the 2nd quarter. Conrad kicks off. It's a good one, taken by Lewis behind the goal line, and out he comes to the 23. With not too much time remaining in the 1st half, Layne decides that the Lions had better take to the air. The All-Stars are pretty well aware of this. Layne back, shoots one to Hopalong Cassidy for 16 yards and a 1st down on the 30. The All-Stars are willing to concede the short pass here to protect against the deep one. And the strategy works. More trouble for the Lions. Layne back, throws a long one. And it's picked off by Jim Jones, who returns 14 yards to the Detroit 41. About 12 seconds to go in the half, and again Nanowski is in at quarterback. And he passes complete to Jim Gibbons of Iowa on a beautiful action shot. 3 seconds to go in the half. Conrad's going to try a field goal. Watch this one now. 3 seconds to go in the 1st half. The boot is good. Score, All-Stars 20, Lions 7. Time for a kickoff before the 1st half runs out. Ron Gibbs signals. There it goes. Taken by Lewis. He returns to the 42. But that's it in the 1st half. And the score as the half ends is the All-Stars 20, the Detroit Lions 7. Between halves, the crowd is introduced to the Massillon, Ohio High School Band, making its first appearance at an all-star game. Their spirited marching and beautifully played music capture the hearts of the crowd and draw repeated bursts of applause. Here in the center of the field, Clem Hall, president of the Football Writers Association of America and sports editor of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, presents the Most Valuable Player Award to John Brody of the San Francisco 49ers and Stanford University. Each year, the Chicago Tribune Charities presents a trophy to the all-star player judged by sports writers the most valuable to his team in the previous year's game. And on the west side of the field, our cameras pick up Vince Lloyd, who introduces Wilfred Smith, sports editor of the Chicago Tribune, the man responsible for the planning and production of this great event. And Mr. Smith expresses satisfaction at the score of the game and thanks the members of the All-Star squad and coaching staff in the National Football League for the annual appearance of their champions at this event. He emphasizes that the real winners of the All-Star game are the needy of Chicago. More than $5 million has been raised by Chicago Tribune charities by sponsorship of sports events, an impressive percentage of which has been produced by the All-Star games. Mr. Smith salutes the nation's football fans whose support guarantees Chicago the greatest football show of the year. The players are returning to the field. The second half is about to begin. The Lions will receive. Here's the boot. Gathered in by Terry Barr again on his goal line. And he is smothered by a host of tacklers on the Lion 13. Rote is back in at quarterback for the Lions. Gedman gets the handoff, drives for 2 to the 15. Now here's a backward pass that misses fire. Rote laterals to Gedman. The ball is finally recovered by Detroit on the 5. With their backs against the wall, the Lions decide to gamble. Rote back to pass, but he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a safety. And 2 points for the Stars. The score, the All-Stars 22, the Lions 7. That's a big safety. It really has a big bearing on the strategy in this game. The rules of the game, of course, say that a kick from the 20-yard line must follow a safety. And so the Lions, Yale Larry, boots to Clendon Thomas, who returns 28 yards to the Lions 37. Here he comes. And there he goes. Helped off the field on this one. King Hill back. He's the Stars quarterback. It's a pass. It is complete to Dick Christie of North Carolina State, but there's an 8-yard loss on this one. Bill back to pass again. Throws it hard, but it's intercepted by Jim Davis, who returns 7 yards to the Lions 33. So the pros, always dangerous, and even more in the second half than in the first, have the ball. Rote back, completes one to Junker to the 45. Here's one time John Henry Johnson doesn't make any yardage. He's dropped for a 3-yard loss here as he tries the left side. But Collegian's line is really tough tonight. So Detroit takes to the air once more. Rote aims one at Doran, and it's almost intercepted by Lynch. It's incomplete. So the Lions are forced to punt. Here's the boot, but the all-star end bangs into the kicker after he boots it. That's a roughing the kicker penalty, and it's a first down and a 15-yard walk-off, giving the ball to the Lions on the all-star 42. Rote back to pass. He's chased hard to his right, finally gets it away. The ball is almost intercepted by Bobby Joe Conrad. Here's a beautiful run on a quick opener. Watch Gedman. Right up the middle, 20 yards to the Stars 18. First down, Detroit. Rote reaches into the bag of tricks for a pass play. Good fake. Here's the throw. And it is just out of reach of Johnson on the 5-yard line. Rote back to pass again, but this one's almost intercepted by Ray Brown of Mississippi. The All-Stars were penalized to the 9 for holding. First and go now. Gedman breaks over left tackle for a Detroit touchdown. Now watch the All-Stars block this extra point try. This doesn't happen very often in pro football, but it was Dick Lynch who got in front and blocked it. That very rarely happens, especially against the pros. and kicking off for Detroit. It's taken by Mike Summer of George Washington on the 4, and he returns 21 yards to his 25. Nanowski back in at quarterback for the Stars. Fumble, but Jim falls on the ball, 2-yard loss. Nanowski over that center again, drops back, throws, it's complete to Jewett on the 32, and Bob Jewett, also of Michigan State, as is Nanowski, races 20 yards to the All-Star 44. Another pass play coming up. Nanowski's flip, intended for Phillips, is incomplete. But the Collegians keep trying from the air. Nanowski back again. Rushed hard by Bob Long, gets the pass away. It's incomplete. On the sidelines, here's All-Star head coach Otto Graham, former Cleveland Brown great. 3rd down, 10 on the 44. Nanowski still quarterbacking. The All-Stars ball. Jim's back. This time he connects with Mitchell to the Detroit 48. Nanowski's red hot tonight. This time his target is Jimmy Pace. It's good. Screen pass. 1st down on the Lions 40. Nice running by Pace. Five passes in a row now. Nanowski back, but this one misses fire as Detroit's David leaps high in the air to intercept, and he runs this ball all the way to the 40-yard line. However, the Lions were penalized to their 16 for clipping, but they do keep the ball. Lions ball, 1st and 10 on their 16. Rote on a keep it play, picks up 6 yards before Howley of West Virginia makes the stop. Rote pitching, Doran catching. And this short one over the line. It goes, complete for a 1st down to the Detroit 34. The Lions drive, however, fails as Lewis takes the handoff. He gets up to the 42 on this one, but he fumbles, and Bill Jobko recovers for the All-Stars. Collegians ball. Let's try a ground play. Mitchell with the handoff, bangs over center for 3. The ball is on the Detroit 31 now on this next play because of a penalty. Watch this reverse. Nanowski runs to his right, gives the ball to Mitchell, who reverses and weaves and dances his way to the 18. On this play, the Lions were also penalized to the 9-yard line for unnecessary roughness. Stars up to the line of scrimmage. Nanowski at quarterback. Conrad and Kramer of Idaho at tailbacks. Nanowski back to pass, but he is dropped for a 2-yard loss. Nobody open, he had to eat the ball. Nanowski will pass again, but this Lion defense is rough. And this one, intended for Phillips, is almost intercepted by Jack Christensen. Third down, 10. Nanowski back. He's rushed by Long, and the pass is incomplete as the 3rd quarter ends with the All-Stars leading the Detroit Lions 22-13. Big 4th quarter coming up, and what a big one this is going to have to be. On the first play of the 4th period, Bobby Joe Conrad tries a field goal. It is good. Score, All-Stars 25, Lions 13. The kickoff, taken by Lewis on the 2. He returns to the 18 where Ray Nitschke of Illinois makes the stop. And these Lions are really feeling the pressure now. Tobin Rote dropping back. His pass intended for Johnson is over his head. The All-Star defense is really pouring through that Detroit line. These boys are really in condition. Throw it back to pass. It is incomplete. Too short. This number 48 is Gerald Kramer, a big guard from Idaho. Coming out of the game as Otto Graham sends in another player with instructions for the next play. The Lions are forced to punt. Larry Boots. And this one rolls dead on the All-Star 28. Danowski quarterbacking again. And he hands off to Larry Krutko of West Virginia, and the big fullback hits right tackle for 1. Danowski back to pass again. And he connects with Tom Schulte of East Kentucky State to the Stars' 37, where it's 3rd and 1. The Collegians call on Jimmy Pace to try to pick up that yard on the first down, but Jim is dropped for no gain. They'll have to boot. Atkins back to punt. Gets it away. And it's a fair catch by Barr on the Lions' 26. Now Bobby Layne is quarterbacking for Detroit. And he whips a pass complete to Junker on a beautiful catch by Steve for a first down on the 38. Short pass by Layne, intended for Doran, incomplete. Gedman and John Henry Johnson are in that backfield for Detroit now. Layne passes. Intercepted by Jones. The All-Stars ball in the Lions' 45. Here's a nice pass play coming up. Nanowski back. Beautiful catch by Dugan, who, surrounded by Lions, still carries to the Detroit 31, a 14-yard advance. And this crowd is beginning to believe that it's really possible now. Let's try that one again, says Nanowski. And his pass to Dugan is complete to the Lions' 21. First down. Another pass try coming up. Nanowski back. But this one aimed at King on the 12-yard line is incomplete. Second down, still 10 to go for a first down and 21 for a touchdown. Nanowski back to his 32. Lets loose a long one, just over the head of King in the end zone. Now it's third down. The All-Stars need yardage. They need to keep that ball. Nanowski back. The toss is complete to Mitchell on the 13, but he's driven back to the 18 this time. Now it's fourth down. And Bobby Joe Conrad is going to attempt another field goal. If he gets it, they've got a 15-point lead. Here's the boot. It is good. His 4th of the game, and the All-Stars lead 28-13. Boy, that makes a different game out of it. The kickoff by the Collegians now. And it sails all the way into the end zone. It'll be Detroit's ball on their 20-yard line. Tempers are a little high in the middle of that field as Stan Campbell and Ben Preston almost come to blows. Detroit's ball, 1st and 10 now on their own 20-yard line when the mob scene subsides. Keep your eye on the ball. Layne back, he throws. His pass falls into the arm of Chuck Howley, a guard for the All-Stars, who returns 29 yards for a touchdown as the Stars take a commanding 34-13 lead. And there is a really happy lad. Conrad back to try the kick. And it's good. One more point. Score. All-Stars 35. Detroit Lions 13. 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game. There's the kickoff. It's a short one going out of bounds on the Lions' 45. Now Detroit is trying desperately to get back into the game. Bobby Layne quarterbacking. He tosses. Complete to Lewis, who is dropped on the Collegians' 41 after a 14-yard gain. Layne back to pass again, but big Lou Michaels of Kentucky blasts through, drops him for a 10-yard loss. Those Lions are really being pushed around now. Detroit takes to the air again. Layne back. He's rushed by Alex Karras. Finally gets it away. Incomplete. Layne back again. He has time, but now his receivers are pretty well covered, and the desperation pass is short of any mark. 4th and 20 to go for a first down, but of course the Lions can't punt. Now Layne back, and he hits Terry Barr along the eastern sideline for a first down on the Stars' 36. Some kind of an argument now starting between the referee Otto Graham and the rest of the All-Star coaches. And of course, guess who wins this one? Mr. Gibbs has heard it before. Still Detroit's ball. Layne back to pass, rolls out. There's the toss. It is complete to Ricklick on the 25 and a first down. And Coach John Dahl's a little unhappy about the last call yet. Well, Detroit can't afford to try their ground attack. Time is running too short. Layne back. There's a screen pass now to Ricklick, who carries to the All-Star 7 and another first down. Sideline view of the action. Layne still quarterbacking. Throws one at Harry Mackey, but the ball's too hot to handle. It goes for an incomplete pass. Here's a close-up of the action. Layne back, rush, decides to run. Then he tries a pass to Tom Tracy, incomplete. 3rd down now on the All-Star 7. Layne back. His pass is over the head of the intended receiver. It's out of bounds. It was intended for Lewis. That All-Star pass defense is really tough. Let's see what happens on 4th down. Layne with the ball. The toss to Lewis, but he drops it, and the Stars take over. A great defensive stand. 3 minutes left in the game. All-Stars ball on their own 7. 1st and 10. Summer takes the handoff, smashes up the middle, no gain. Tom Forrestal of Navy is the new star quarterback. He hands off to Taylor, who gets 5 on an off-tackle slant. Lowe and McCord making the stop. More close-up action. Forrestal pitches off to Summer, who skirts left end, but it's not quite enough for a first down, and the college boys are forced to punt. Atkins back to boot. There it goes. It's taken by Christensen on the 45. He returns to the Stars' 48, where Walker brings him down. Time is running out on Detroit, though. The Stars have a real big lead. Bobby Layne back, aims one, and completes it to Terry Barr, the former Michigan great, who's brought down on the 13, a gain of 35 yards. Pitch out coming up. There it is to Pfeiffer, who's dropped for a 2-yard loss by Bobby Gordon of Tennessee. Quick opener. The Detroit fullback is rookie Ralph Pfeiffer, and he plows up the middle of the 7. Pfeiffer again. He'll take a handoff from Bobby Layne on this one. And he bangs his way to the 2-yard line for a first down. The Detroit runner hits a stone wall on this one, though. It's no gain. John Baker, a 290-pound tackle from North Carolina College, is at the bottom of that pile. Detroit, however, is not to be denied. Pfeiffer blasts over from the 2 for a Lions touchdown. It's only a consolation award, though, as it looks at this point. Layne boot, but it's no good. Score, All-Stars 35, Lions 19 with seconds remaining in the game. The Lions have to kick off now. They'll no doubt try an onside kick. There it is. But Frank Uso, tackle for Minnesota, grabs the ball, falls on the Detroit 46 as the gun goes off, signaling the end of the game and a truly great all-star victory. And thus ends the most unusual, if not the most exciting game in the 25-year history of this colorful event. The best of the 1958 college graduating class whipped, routed, and humbled the Detroit Lions, world champions of professional football, 35-19, and added a brilliant chapter to the career of Otto Graham, head coach for the first time in his life, who brought the All-Stars up to achieve one of the most astounding victories of the series. And so, the 25th All-Star Game takes its place in the most glamorous series in sports. Another demonstration of the enterprise and public service which are expressed every day in the pages of the Chicago Tribune. For more than 40 years, read by more people than any other Chicago newspaper.